So I was going to do a clothing haul this week, or like hack haul / clothing haul, but some things that I'm waiting for haven't arrived yet. So I figured I would just vlog the next day or two. At the moment I'm down in the jump paddock and I'm going to set up some poles to do this afternoon with Barry and Arrow, and then we're going to have a jump lesson tomorrow. My coach is going to come down and one of my friends is going to ride Angel, so that'll be cool. Yeah. Oh, we have a cow. So this is one of the problems with sharing the jump paddock with the cows, is that I set things up and then they pretty much just immediately come and knock them down by scratching on them. Not ideal, but at least poles on the ground they can't really mess with too much. So I'm going to set up some poles and I might do a time lapse with my tripod. That one friend. So this is my little canter pole exercise. So it's one stride of canter each through and then come back around, change leads back through the middle, and then come around through, change leads back through the middle. So that's a good one. Ara hasn't done this one before. Barry's done it and Angel's done it. And then my little trot pole set up. So just some raised trot poles, and those ones are about 5 foot apart because I want Barry to stretch out a little bit more. Hi, boy. What you doing? Hanging out under the tree? Time to catch me a pony.
Gonna catch a pony. Alright. Multiple ponies, hopefully.
Hi, Spidey. He's going home tomorrow. Aren't you? Your holiday's over, Spider. Back to work. Oh, yes. He is. They're so curly and cute. Does whatever a spider can. What about you? What do you do? Not much, she says. Nothing good. Dusty! Where have you been? He's gonna come tearing down here. Come get your treats, bud. Come on. Oh, you've been busy eating. You've got food hanging out of your mouth. Hi, Dusty. Angel. Grumpy chestnut Meg. Jeez. Doggos! What you doing? Look at that drool coming out of your mouth. No, no, no. You keep your drool to yourself. No, I don't want it on my jumpers. No, no. You're very cute, but I want to stay clean. Okay, so I thought I'd do a little talk through of my flat work ride with Angel. This is her first time being ridden with the Vicky Wilson's Equisystem, which is the blue thing that's tied around her. So it's just a band that encourages them to come through from behind a little bit more, to have a truer contact. So I'm just beginning in walk and then some transitions and lots of change in direction just to warm her up and get her used to it. So lots and lots of transitions just to build her strength. And I also want to get her softening through her neck a little bit more. Hopefully you'll see the progress from the start of the video here till the end. She does soften up her neck a lot more. So the other thing I'm doing is just a slight bit of shoulder fore and shoulder in, just to get her softer again through her neck. She is quite a forward horse, but she will sort of lock herself up through her neck. So here we're starting to get a bit softer. And I could have her a little bit more forward and a little bit more in front of my leg, but she is quite naturally very forward, so I'm not going to really hassle her too much about that, because I also don't want her to throw herself off balance. Really what I'm focusing on at the start here with is the straightness through the transitions, and then towards the end we can worry about getting a more forward trot. So now she's trotting out a little bit more, and that was a pretty nice canter transition. This is the side she finds easier. Like a lot of off the track horses, she finds left canter a lot easier than right. We did have a lot of trouble at the start getting her to canter right, but now she's pretty good with it. Once again, it's just keeping the straightness in the canter, because she does have a bit of a habit to swing her quarters right. When she's in canter though, she's pretty easy on this rein. And I'm pretty happy with that transition down. And now she's starting to soften a lot more through her neck, so she's really wanting to stretch. So I've just gone into rising trot and allowing her to stretch. I don't let her do it right at the start, because otherwise she ends up quite on the forehand. I want her to still stay up through her wither even though she's stretching down, just because I want to encourage her to stay up in front. Okay, so now I'm going to get the trot happening, and then I'm going to ask for the canter to the right. So this is the direction she does find harder. She'll swing her quarters out, she'll go a little bit crooked and a little bit flat, but this is a fairly nice trot. Okay, so here I'm going to ask for the canter, and she doesn't really run into it, but she does get a bit flat. Unfortunately, the camera's cut most of it off. But you can see when she's in canter, it's not a bad one. Oh, I brought it back to trot. I'm going to ask for that transition again. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure the camera messes this one too. And it does, but it is a nice canter, so I'll just let her keep going. So she's staying nice and up and in front, and then I brought her back to trot, and she's quite over her back and up in that trot, so I'm pretty happy with that. And that's about it for this ride. It was only a short one just because it is like us doing a workout with a resistance band. It makes things quite a bit harder. So far so good. I'm really liking the results with the Equisystem. Don't spook at that. Good boy. Alright, so I had to put my phone back in my car, so I didn't get any of me tacking up or putting the Equisystem bandage on. Hopefully I can do that later, but my phone is just not holding its battery. I need a new phone or a proper camera. Go on, Barry, will you protect me? Are you going to protect me if that bull charges? He says, nah, I'm leaving you for dead, human. Come on, babe. Come on. Okay, I'm going to get on the horse because fuck that. Let's not even do pole work. Let's just muster some cows, Baz. Come on, babe, go home. Come on, go home. Go back next door. Go on. Good boy. You tell that cow what to do, Barry. He probably is a lot heavier than you. Look at those testicles. That can't be comfortable to run. God. You too, little moo-moo. Time to go home. You can stay here and do some pole work if you want. Oh, we're peeing. Sorry, darling. We'll let you pee. Look how cute they are, though. Okay, well, Barry, cows are going home now. And it's another voiceover. So I'm doing the pole work exercise with Barry. He's already been warmed up, and I'm just going to trot him through these poles. And he's a bit naughty and ducks out around that last pole because it's just a really short, skinny pole. And he thought I couldn't be bothered and went around it. I should have kept him straighter. But now I'm going to fix my mistake and make sure he goes through it straighter, and that was a bit better. So Barry can get pretty hollow over the poles, so hopefully the Equisystem is going to help him a little bit with that, but I also need to ride him through them a little bit more and let him worry about the poles and me keep him together. We do quite a lot of pole work. Barry gets pretty arena sour, so I really only do 1 or 2 max dressage rides with him a week, and then the rest we try and do pole work. I do a lot of lunging over raised poles, or we do long reining or tackless, liberty, trail riding. I usually only jump him once a week, if that. Yeah, just giving him different things to do so that he can keep his fitness and strength up and keep his brain happy, I guess. So now I'm just going to trot him through this canter pole exercise just so he can have a look at it. I'll trot him through it a few times first, just so he can make sure nothing's going to jump out and eat him. Okay, so now I picked up canter, and then he got confused and tried to trot through it, and then I asked him to canter. That was a bit awkward. But then we're going to come back around through it the long side. And he's got the idea of what we're doing now. So the canter pole exercise is set up to work on his adjustability, as well as working on getting his changes. Barry is quite happy to pick up changes over the pole like he does there, or change over a jump. It's just on the flat. He is very confident at counter canter and will counter canter all day long, even on the tightest of circles. So now I'm going to ask for it again, and that was pretty good. So this exercise, as I come through, just brought him back to trot because I don't want him to get too excited just about cantering. So I'm just going to trot him again for a minute, and he tried to take off. Now I'm going to trot him through again, and he tries to take off again. So I brought him back to halt, and then brought him back to walk just to chill out for a sec. And now we're going to trot through just to say you don't have to tear off at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And then he tried to take off again, got a really awkward distance, and that's why that was super ugly. And he sorted them out, but that was quite fast, and I want him to slow down a little bit more. So it's not the prettiest ride. Now that he knows what we're doing with the canter poles, he's pretty excited about it. And this is what happens when we're jumping a lot. He progressively gets more and more excited, and then we start getting awkward distances, and then he gets tense and tight through his neck, and then it makes things more awkward. So even though we're very far from being perfect, good to practice these things. And he got a weird distance there again, but at least he sorted it out and didn't dive at it. So when I'm coming through the long side and asking for the changes, I do it over the second to last pole, and that way I've still got another pole if he doesn't pick up the change, but I'm not asking for the change every time because that would be a little much. And we're just trotting through again because he was getting a bit excited. So I do really want to do this exercise with Arrow. I think she's the only one that hasn't done it. But she's really terrified of cows. So when there's a lot of cows down the paddock, I can't ride her there because it's just not worth the hassle of her getting freaked out. Like, she's lived with these cows for like 3 years and she's still scared of them. But that is pretty much it for Barry and for the riding part of this video. So he's all done now. The canter poles get him a bit excited because it's lots of changes, lots of tight corners, all things that get Barry a bit revved up, but that's kind of good because that's what he's like when we actually go out and compete. So now I'm up a bit higher, I can show you the exercise I did. So these are my canter poles. So they're all about 1 stride apart. A good hack if you don't know your distance for your canter poles, the red and white ones, they're your proper length poles, and 1 canter stride is roughly 1 pole length long. The red and white ones are the only proper jump poles I have. The rest are all just like ones I've made from like Bunnings rounds because I'm cheap. And jump equipment is expensive. So yeah, they're 1 stride each apart there. The trot poles, I did have every other one raised, but Barry, well, first of all the cow knocked this one down, and then Barry knocked that one down. I got off to pick that one up, but I couldn't be bothered to get off again. Plus there's lots of cows here tonight, so they're probably all going to get knocked down again. Oh, low battery. Hey Moo-moos. So I'm just going to walk Barry for a little bit, just because he got a bit excited, didn't you, Baz? Look at this curious little cow. Hey, buddy. Hi. Oh. See ya. Barry. She's rubbing on me, is sweaty. Look at this sneaky cow, though. She's just been rubbing on my jumps. I just put these up again. This little one here is so cute. She's got like white splashes under her belly. Such a cute baby. Look at all my hard work, and they're already getting to work knocking it down. Oh yes. I am going to let you chase them tomorrow, Baz. So I was going to ride Arrow today as well, but there's a lot of cows down there now, and Arrow is terrified of cows. So I feel like it just won't be worth the fight. I could do some flat work with her. I only have a jump saddle here. I could lunge her, but I think she'll be fine to have the day off. She worked pretty hard yesterday, and usually the cows stay over the other side of the mountain in the morning, so hopefully tomorrow they'll stay away, or I'll just have to keep Barry down there while Arrow has her lesson so Baz can chase the cows away. He is such a wuss with so many things in life, like will literally spook at nothing, but is happy to chase like a 1-ton bull around the paddock. That's fine. Apparently that's not scary at all. That's just Barry logic, isn't it, mate? He says, leave me alone, I'm hungry. So that is it for this week's video. I was hoping to get some footage of my lesson with Arrow. Unfortunately that didn't happen. I am taking Arrow and Angel over to Fig Tree Pocket to do some training tomorrow, so hopefully I'll get some video then and make like another mini vlog, but this one's already at like 19 minutes, so I'm gonna cut it off here. If you guys want more information on the Equisystem, best bet is to go to vickywilson.nz. Vicky Wilson is an amazing show jumper. She also does a lot of rehabilitation, sauna stuff, and she's also won some pretty big colt starting competitions in America. So if you don't know who she is, I highly recommend checking her out. If you've got an Equisystem or you use something else similar, let me know in the comments what you think. And if you want to see more videos like this of the different type of exercises I do with my horses, let me know as well. Next week I'll be starting getting the horses fitness up for the competition season. We are about 6 weeks out from our first event of the year, so I'll be making a video on that too. I also want to do a haul video, but I'm waiting on things to get here. Joy of living in Australia, I'm very far away from everything else. But that is everything for this week. If you guys could give this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, anything else you want to see. And I will see you soon, hopefully. Thanks guys, bye.